Hey loves, so if you can't tell, it is definitely time to deep condition. Before I get into my different methods of how I deep condition my hair, I figured it's best if I explain why we should deep condition our hair. So, deep conditioning is going to help balance the moisture levels in your hair, it helps improve shine and elasticity, and it just helps the overall health of your hair. So, when you're washing and you're conditioning, you definitely want to make sure that you are deep conditioning as well. Very important. All right, so I brought my friend along with me. This is my favorite deep conditioner, one of my favorite deep conditioners by Mael Organics. But we're going to start off with the traditional method of deep conditioning. Now, of course, it's ideal for you to wash and condition your hair. And then after you do that, you're going to follow up with a deep conditioner. It's great for that final boost of moisture and hydration. Doing a deep conditioning treatment on wet or damp hair is great just because it gives you that slip to help you apply the products and detangle. But keep in mind that your hair is more fragile and in its weakest state when it is wet. So you want to be delicate just to make sure that you're not ripping through your hair. But like I said, for me, this is an ideal method of deep conditioning. I call it traditional just because I feel like this is what everyone is accustomed to. You wash your hair, you condition it, and then you follow up with the deep conditioner. So I'm referring to this as the traditional method because I feel like it's traditional. So with this technique of deep conditioning, I like conditioners that are like a light, creamy consistency. That way my curls can drink it up and it hydrates my hair, but it's not just coating my hair or sitting on top of it. Now, if you like heavier deep conditioners or masks, this method of deep conditioning may affect your styling or just the condition of your hair, because if you're not rinsing thoroughly or if it contains ingredients that aren't water soluble, it could weigh your hair down or it may even lead to product buildup. Now, another gripe that I have with this method of deep conditioning is that it does require me to spend a lot of time in the shower. So, you're washing, you're conditioning, and then you're coming out of the shower to sit under a hooded dryer, which, by the way, I always use heat or a steaming method, whichever route I take for deep conditioning. But you're showering, and then you're getting out of the shower to sit under the hooded dryer, and then you're getting back in the shower to finish. So that's the only one of the cons that I have with this particular method of deep conditioning is that it just requires so much shower time. But I would say the good definitely outweighs the bad, and this is actually my preferred method of deep conditioning my hair. So I don't know, call me old school. I just like the fact that I'm washing, I'm conditioning, and then I'm deep conditioning because I like that to be my final step before styling. I feel like it just really sets the tone for how I'm going to style my hair. It really gives me great shine, slip, definition. I really just like finishing off my wash regimen with my deep conditioning process. Now, not to be underestimated is reverse deep conditioning, which is basically deep conditioning on dry hair before you wash and condition your hair. So that's a technique that I like as well. So the theory with reverse deep conditioning is that if you're applying your products or if you're deep conditioning on wet hair, your hair cuticles are already pretty full and swollen, so they can't properly absorb the product and hold moisture the way that it should. So a lot of people think that it's better to deep condition on dry hair. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first heard about this idea, I absolutely didn't like it because I'm thinking, why are you going to deep condition your hair first and then just wash away all of the moisture that you penetrated or allowed to penetrate into your hair? It made no sense to me, but it did take some getting used to. I guess my main concern was finishing up with products that weren't strong enough or moisturizing enough to kind of carry me through the end of the wash process, which is why it's definitely important to follow up with moisturizing products, nothing that's going to be drying or stripping. But I actually like this method of deep conditioning because it's super convenient. It allows me to detangle my hair while I'm doing something else, like watching TV or watching my kids, and I don't have to worry about dripping all over the place. You know what I mean? Now, granted, it does take more time and patience because your hair is dry. So you don't have the slip of the water and your fingers aren't gliding through, or your fingers or your comb. They're not gliding through as you're detangling. So it's going to take more effort. But like I said, for me, as long as I have the time, I don't mind it. And to be honest, I'd prefer dry shed hair over wet, soppy shed hair, anyways. I'm sorry if that gave you a disgusting visual, but I'm just saying. Now, another reason that I like the dry deep conditioning method is because I can sleep on it. So I can detangle my hair, apply a shower cap or scarf or whatever, and just allow my hair to steam overnight without having to worry about going to bed with wet hair and then waking up with like a head cold or a headache. And of course, this technique also cuts out the need to go back into the shower because you're starting outside of the shower and then you're just finishing up when you get in there, when you wash and you condition. So, super convenient. I like this method for those reasons, and that's why I love dry deep conditioning. So, those are my absolute favorite ways to deep condition my hair. I also want to mention that whichever method I choose, I do use a hooded dryer, well, heat of some sort. So, either a hooded dryer or one of those detachable parts that will connect to your blow dryer. So, I'll use heat that way. Or I'll just steam, also known as the greenhouse method. I don't have a steamer. So what I'll do is, as you saw in the video, I'll use my plastic bag or shower cap and put a towel over it or on top of it or a scarf and just allow the heat that forms, the heat from my scalp, to steam my hair that way. So I absolutely, positively have to use heat or steam. I feel like it's pointless to just put product on top of my hair and then rinse it off. That doesn't really do anything for me, especially having low porosity hair. So I just want to stress that whichever method I do use heat or steam. So I want to know which method you prefer. Leave a comment for me down below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.